Microchips and tensions. Yes, those are two big things that usually pop up when people talk about Taiwan. But trust me, there's a whole lot more going on in this little island nation. Taiwan isn't just a place with a complex relationship with China. It's now officially called the Republic of China, and it's got a rich history that dates back more than 100 years. The story goes that after World War II, the leaders of the Republic of China had to hightail it out of the Chinese mainland because the communists were taking over. So they set up shop on the island of Formosa, which we now know as Taiwan. Now you might wonder why Taiwan is often left out of the global conversation. Well, up until 1971, the US and its friends officially recognized the Republic of China as the real deal, partly because they weren't communist. But as the People's Republic of China became this giant on the world stage, countries started switching their allegiance, and the UN even made a vote to recognize the People's Republic instead. It was a bit of a geopolitical shuffle, and Taiwan found itself out in the cold. But now, Taiwan is rocking the economic game. Seriously, it's the 12th most productive country globally when you adjust for purchasing power. That means it's doing better than big shots like the Netherlands, Germany, Australia, and Canada. And the living standards for the people in Taiwan are sky high. They even outperformed the United States, South Korea, and Japan on the Human Development Index. And that's no small feat. But Taiwan wasn't always this prosperous. When it started, it was actually poorer than mainland China. So how did it pull off this economic miracle? Well, it's not just about microchips, although they do play a big role. Taiwan's success story involves overcoming various economic challenges and finding ways to keep growing. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, microchips. Taiwan is like the Silicon Valley of Asia, churning out advanced semiconductors that power pretty much every aspect of our lives. But Taiwan didn't put all its eggs in one basket. Unlike some countries that rely heavily on just one industry, Taiwan diversified its economic portfolio. But it's not just about numbers and rankings. There's a story here, a story of resilience, growth, and maybe a few economic secrets that the world could learn from. However, this country was kind of caught up in a family feud. You've got North and South Korea doing their thing, and then there's Taiwan, caught in a tug-of-war between China and the rest of the world. China has this idea called the One China policy, saying Taiwan is just a rebellious part of their big family. This family drama affects Taiwan's ability to make friends on the international stage. If countries don't officially recognize Taiwan as a country, things like trade deals and foreign investments get really tricky. China knows this and puts a lot of pressure on other countries not to treat Taiwan like a real country. So when big shot leaders from major nations, like the USA, visit Taiwan, it's a pretty big deal, like breaking the rules of the family drama. Taiwan found a way around this by representing itself as Chinese Taipei in organizations like the World Trade Organization and the Olympics. Now, let's rewind to the 80s when Taiwan was struggling. The government came up with these ambitious projects: shipyards, oil refineries, airports, you name it. Everyone talks about Taiwan's microchip game now, but these projects were the real game changer. Building all this stuff cost a fortune, and Taiwan had to take on a lot of debt. But they had a plan: attract new industries, make money, and pay back those loans. It's like when you invest in a business hoping it'll grow and make you rich. The catch was that Taiwan needed to be an attractive place for foreign companies to set up shop. Just like how the US is awesome at making planes, and Italy rocks at luxury goods, developing countries have their strengths too. For Taiwan, it was low-cost labor and some natural resources. But they were still under martial law, basically a military dictatorship. Plus, not a huge population and some looming issues with China. Oh, and let's not forget the hefty foreign debt from those grand infrastructure projects. Fast forward, and guess what? Taiwan pulled it off. The projects paid off big time, attracting industries and turning Taiwan into an economic powerhouse. It's like going from being the shy kid in the corner to the popular one everyone wants to hang out with. Microchips became a big thing for them, thanks to their focus on technology and innovation. Back in the day, Taiwan faced a tough road to economic development. Other countries in the region seemed like safer bets for investors, But Taiwan took the bull by the horns. Instead of waiting for a helping hand, Taiwan decided to build its own destiny. They embarked on ambitious projects: a steel mill, a shipyard, and an oil refinery, all run by state-owned companies. These ventures weren't just about profit. They aimed to provide ongoing employment opportunities for the future. And guess what? These operations are still running strong, making Taiwan a global leader in shipbuilding, steel manufacturing, and oil refining. But that's not all. The government got creative and introduced policies to co-invest in promising businesses. Imagine being an investor and having the government as your partner. That's like a safety net with benefits. This not only made Taiwan less risky for outsiders, but also ensured that the government's capital was well spent. It was a win-win situation. Private entities brought their profit motives, and the government brought stability. Now, Taiwan saw the success of countries like South Korea and Japan in consumer electronics and thought, why not us? But instead of making their own gadgets, they teamed up with Philips, a Dutch electronics company, to invest in TSMC. Smart move! TSMC became Taiwan's largest company and exporter, solely focusing on semiconductor manufacturing. This move put Taiwan on the global tech map, and today, TSMC is a household name in the industry. Yes, now Taiwan is a tech wizard, but it's not a one-trick pony. The country's economy is heavily trade-focused, with exports accounting for a whopping 70% of their GDP. And only one-third of those exports are integrated circuits. Taiwan is competitive in everything from machinery to chemicals and advanced equipment. They import resources, work their magic with world-leading industries and skilled workers, and then export the finished products at a handsome markup. It's like economic alchemy. But let's not pretend it's all smooth sailing. The Taiwan-China tension is real, and it's a global concern. Our economies are intertwined with theirs, and any disturbance there sends shockwaves everywhere. Taiwan has protection agreements with powerful nations, not because they're feeling charitable, but because they need to safeguard their high-tech computer chip supply. However, with new semiconductor facilities sprouting globally, Taiwan's dependence on a single geopolitical position is under threat. It's like playing chess with high stakes. Now let's break down Taiwan's economic standing. In terms of size, Taiwan is the 21st largest economy globally, with a nominal GDP of $762 billion. Not too shabby, right? But their GDP per capita is impressive, standing at $33,907. It's like having a prosperous party with a reasonable cost of living. So if we judge Taiwan and give marks out of 10 in various fields, stability and confidence get a 7 out of 10. Democratic process? Check. Low national debt? Check. But those export dependencies and the China-sized elephant in the room keep things interesting. Talking about growth, Taiwan has been on fire. A 50% growth in the last decade thanks to diverse high-value exports. That's an 8 out of 10. Keep the momentum going, Taiwan. In industry, they're holding their ground, especially in traditional manufacturing. But let's be real, they're not the big dogs in finance, computer goods, automobiles, or IT. Still, a solid 8 out of 10 for their size and efforts. So while the world might focus on the microchips and geopolitical tensions, remember that Taiwan's success is a tale of resilience, creativity, and a dash of economic magic. Keep shining, Taiwan! Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye.